Assalamu alaikum. Hello, everyone. Those who are joining in today, we have a very special talk with Abdul Hamid, who is from Canada, and he's joining us today to speak about his work he's been doing with Afghan Aid Agency. So we're really trying to see if we could try to help and provide help for the poor Afghans who are living in poverty, who are suffering from hunger and thirst, especially with this special month of Ramadan coming. Abdul Hamid has been working tirelessly, doing so much to promote goodness and help those in need. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sister.
And my name is Gulmeki Saleh, and I'm having this special talk with Abdul Hamid, who is the founder of Afghan Aid Agency in Canada. He's been working tirelessly trying to provide food and help to the Afghans who've been suffering for many generations. I mean, it's been many years, as long as I've been alive, and probably we've both been alive. So they never seen any relief. They're always suffering. So he's doing this amazing work and helping them. So
if you just, some of my friends are not familiar, who are you? What do you do? So kindly brief some of my friends in the meantime, and I will share the program with my friends. So sister, please continue.
Okay, sure. So my name is Gulmeki Popal. I was born in Afghanistan, Kandahar, but I only spent my first year there. I came to Pakistan as a refugee, spent maybe 2-3 years there, and the rest I came to the United States of America, and I was raised here in the United States of America. Here I've learned my culture. I learned both American and Afghan culture, which I respect both, and I learned my own faith, Islam, and I try to practice it into my character, to teach people through my character what Islam is, not just through words, but through my actions. I'm an author of 2 books. I'm a teacher, and I talk to a lot of children, parents, and teachers on promoting the golden rule. I just recently wrapped up my talk show, Speak Up with Gulmeki, which I had 10 special guests from different faiths, different race, different nationalities, speaking on promoting the golden rule. And this is exactly what Abdul is doing. He's promoting the golden rule, which is to treat others as you want to be treated. We don't want to be hungry, so why are we not treating others the same way? If we have the means to do so, why do we not help them? So that's about me. Now the special work, we need to focus on what he's doing and how we could help him and make others, bring others into this beautiful agency he has created, Afghan Aid Agency in Canada, where he's been, I believe you said 4 years you've been doing it?
Yes, Alhamdulillah, it's been 4 years. We have started this work in the past. We were doing it privately within the families and friends. It was not public. Then some of the people some of the families who are we reaching in Kandahar and Afghanistan were so poor. A lot of people were so touched with their condition and their situations. So many of the friends and colleagues say that why shouldn't we run this program publicly? So then a lot of more people can join in. So this is what we started. So it's been 3.5 years. For the past 3 years, we run several different programs. Programs for children who can attend the school due to poverty, assist them with the fees and school tuition and school supply and clothes and shoes. Also, our major project last year was build a water well. That water well is actually serving about 100 homes, population about 50,000 of people. So it's doing a lot of great work. A lot of people were so happy about that project. So inshallah, we also have another goal, another water well program coming up. But in the meantime, we are running our Ramadan program. This is actually going to be our third Ramadan program. Alhamdulillah, in the past three Ramadan, we were successfully completed, our goal with good support, and a lot of people were so happy. The other thing we want to do, inshallah, after the Ramadan, we have another project. It's going to be a really affordable project. It's going to be a $10 a month project. Basically, this project will be shared with a lot of friends and colleagues who can join this program by just donating $10 a month. But in the same time, even people, even kids in the school can join those programs. So right now, the program we are running, it is for Ramadan. Alhamdulillah, we receive a lot of great support, and many people were so touched by the result that we are doing. Our goal was to start the program, to start the donating.
Again, so let's try to focus on the Ramadan campaign you're doing, the GoFundMe page, and how can anyone help out there? Those people who are watching today.
Well, they can easily make the donation through the GoFundMe link, which is easily accessible anywhere in the world. Donations can be made, by credit card, debit card. Right now, we are also accepting some of the colleagues who can't use GoFundMe or something that they have issue with that. We also have a PayPal account. So if somebody has any issue with a GoFundMe, we can supply the PayPal account. Our page is Afghan Aid Agency on the Facebook. You can easily find it. You can gloss through the page. Some of the recent project that we did are also posted. Our main target for this Ramadan program is to feed 100 families. But alhamdulillah, with the support and the help from people, we are able to provide food to almost 250 families. So that's a really good thing.
Right. So like he was saying, the GoFundMe page is right there on the link on the comment bar below. What you could do, if you could just give as much as $10, $5, whatever your heart can, whatever you could afford, and of course share with others. This is a blessed month coming up, whether we're Muslims or non-Muslims. This is the time to show the golden rule, right? To treat people as we want to be treated. We care about humanity. It's not about, oh, we're different faiths or we're different nationality. It's about humanity. These humans, these Afghans have been suffering for so long that, the children that grew up who are 30 years old now, they never known peace. They never know security. They never know what it feels like to have one good day without worrying about someone being killed on the street or a bomb going off or someone being shot at. So the blessed month that we could give so much from ourselves. Even if you do not have the financial means, you could share your skills with Abdul Hamid and help him with this organization that he's running. If computer skills, if you have graphic skills, marketing skills, there's so many skills you could share with him. It's not about money. It's also about your time, your skill sets that you could help and promote what he's doing, get more people to sponsor and develop this organization, inshallah. What are some of the foods that are you're trying to in a package to give to these families during the month of
these are just a basic grocery like flour, oil, canned food, some of the tea, sugar. There are many of back home ingredients that people use it at home. Also, we are also going to be giving out milk to the kids who are new, some of the newborn kids. And also, we are going to be supplying some of the orphans there. They live in the orphanage, so they basically, they don't have anyone. So our goal is to make sure these orphans have enough food for the Ramadan, because Ramadan, um, most of the places in Afghanistan, the prices for the food cost goes skyrocket, and a lot of poor people who rely on a day-to-day job, and their income is very low, they suffer a lot. A lot of people, they solely rely on charity and somebody's help. So, so Ramadan is a very it's for a lot of people, it's a spiritual thing, but for a lot of poor people over there, it's a tough time, because they most of those families rely on their kids, uh, very little income. Some of their kids sell fruit and water in the street, but in Ramadan, that income actually gets cut off, because they cannot sell water and fruit during the Ramadan, because people are fasting. So that's the condition of a lot of poor families in Afghanistan.
Speak about how these kids are suffering, how these people are suffering. Um, Children are working. They're trying to provide for their family, probably 6, 7, 8 people in the family, where the husband or the father has died, or both of the parents have died, or the grandparents are taking care of them, and grandparents are getting old and they have other responsibility. So the home structure is always different. I was thinking about this yesterday, and I'm like, here in the United States of America, where there's poor people on the street, we have shelters, we have the welfare systems, social security system. Even we have restaurants that throw food away that the poor people will go and take out to eat. In Afghanistan, they don't even, Afghans, they don't have first food to throw away, And then the poor can't even look for food in a trash can. That's how poor they are. That's how poor this country is, because it's a third world country who's been suffering a lot through 30 years, almost over 30 years, 40 years.
More than 4 decades. Yes, poverty is a bigger than the war, but the war gets a lot of coverage. Poverty is pushed to the side, but the poverty is a slow death. A lot of families are dying. They don't have any other source. Recently, past week, when we did the first food distribution, basically our plan was to start the food distribution right before, like 2-3 days before Ramadan. But those people, they cannot wait for Ramadan. They are hungry right now. They are poor right now. So we decided to just start the program. So last week, when we donated food supplies to some of the families say they make about 5,000 Afghani. 5,000 Afghani is equal to $80 a month, and they have about 5, 6, or up to 8 member in the house. They rely on the $80 a month for the whole month. That's what they make. And sometimes they get sick. They can't even go to the doctor because they don't have the money to pay to the doctor. Some of the families that we know about them, they go to the doctor, but they just like borrow, like the doctor let them check in and give them medication, and when they get money, they pay them back. Some of the families, they solely relies on people's leftover. They walk into the street and go to the people's houses, and if they get some food, they come and eat it. Some of the kids only eat like a half a bread and they go to bed. So that's their condition. It's not like it's gonna be like one day. They live that every day. Um, day before yesterday, the food distribution that we're giving to some of the families, a lot of people say that please stop the video because we cannot watch those people. So I question them. I say, when you can't even watch 5 minutes of their video, 5 minutes of their live talk, when they are telling you how poor they are and how miserable life they have it, when you can't even hear that, imagine living that life every day. Imagine having kids go to sleep and telling you that mom, I didn't eat. So this is like, it's very hard. Uh, Over here we go out on the weekends. We spend like $20 on a burger, but over there, $25 is their 2 weeks food cost for the whole family. So this is our goal, to feed as much as more families this Ramadan. A lot of brothers and sisters are helping. I'm very happy from the support I'm getting from brothers and sisters, and even some of the people who doesn't even like, they're not even Muslim. They are actually helping. This afternoon, I got a call from a friend. He told me that some mechanic works with him, and his father was so touched by the videos that he saw. So he said that he's going to be donating to our cause. So I was really impressed, and I was really happy that our cause is getting a lot of support.
May Allah bless you for your effort. And may Allah bless all those. May God bless them, all those, whether they're Muslims, non-Muslims, whether they're Afghans or American or Canadian, whoever they may be. This is the time where we show our humanity, that we care for others. Angelina Jolie, she's a famous actress, and she travels to the border of Afghanistan in Pakistan, and she sees these refugees, and she's brought to tears because of what they're enduring every day. Uh, this war, these wars that have been caused so much destruction, not just infrastructure, not poverty, but
Mhm.
diseases, illness. The water supply has been contaminated, the sewer system. Uh, I mean, we could just name this, but actually living there and feeling the pain is way different. We could just only imagine what they go through. May God help them. May the best we could do is at least make prayer for them, and help this cause. Whoever is watching, try to donate as much as you can. These people are suffering a lot, and they need your help. Think about, the golden rule is, when we want something for ourselves, we should want it for someone else. When we're drinking a glass of water that's clean and maybe refrigerated, cool, and we drink it and we feel our thirst is quenched. Now think about these people who don't have water, or if they have to get water, they have to walk miles to get water, and then that water is contaminated or dirty, or is filled with diseases that they have to drink. So those who are tuning in, hello and assalamu alaikum. Today is a program where we really are trying to promote the golden rule, which is to treat others as one would treat oneself. And we have, our guest is Abdul Hamid, who is the founder of Afghan Aid Agency. He's been working for 4 years with this organization, which he created. He's the founder, and he's trying to promote understanding and awareness of the suffering of the Afghans, especially the orphans, the children, the widows, because of the result of many years of wars. He's trying to raise funds to build wells and provide food and shelter, and of course he's also I think you said that you're creating jobs for these people, so they won't be always relying on handouts.
Yes, exactly. I know for in the startup, we are reaching out to very poor families who are really poor. Once we get them on the list, our goal is to find a way that so they can have something by their own. If a woman can sew or stitch clothes, so we buy them a sewing machine. If a person need a cart to sell any fruit or something like that. we can manage to buy him a card. So there are a number of things that we can do. But before we do it, we have to make sure these families are really poor, because our volunteer back in Afghanistan are very dedicated and honest people. Those Just because of those volunteers are with us, that's the success of our program. Collecting money in U.S. and doing a campaign, that's a different story that we do over here. It's also a struggle, a hard work, but the most important thing is reaching out to most deserving families in Afghanistan. So that's what our volunteers are doing. They make sure they survey their list on a monthly basis. They make sure who do we support on a monthly basis are still poor. Some people they get jobs, and they let us know that they are not at this time they are able to feed themselves. They help themselves. So our main goal is to help most deserving families.
Yeah.
And inshallah, our next, like I just mentioned, right after Ramadan, our one of the easiest program that we were talking about with many donors and supporter, which is a $10 a month program. So that's $10 a month program will be affordable to anyone. Even kids at school can afford it, and so they can even feel that they are actually part of a really great cause. So that's our next project. At this time, what we have at our hand is to reach our goal for the Ramadan, so we can feed more and more families.
Yes. So yeah, that's the main part of today, that we want to focus on raising the funds for the Ramadan campaign, so people could break their fast, and have suhoor and iftar during Ramadan, and they be able to drink clean water and maybe even milk if possible. So having these different food items on their table to eat from. Us here in the United States, I know all of us, when we have our table set for for breaking our fast, we have different varieties of food, and we all try to remember. We most of us, we translate Ramadan as remembering how the poor people feel, but then when we have these tables full of food, this is a time where we should really think and say, yes, half of my food, the money I spent on that food, I could have shared it with someone who doesn't have that table, who doesn't even have water, not even a date, not even a piece of bread to eat, and break their fast. The reward of feeding people during Ramadan is greatly rewarded. The Prophet ﷺ has mentioned this. We all know this hadith, and we don't need to constantly remind people, but it's a good to remember what our beloved Prophet ﷺ said. The Prophet ﷺ would always give his food even though he was hungry, and he would tie stones to his stomach just to keep the hunger down. Even his beloved wife Aisha radiallahu anha, she was fasting, and there was a mother and two daughters who came to the door and knocked on the door and said, "We're hungry," and she only had 3 dates to break her fast with, and she just gave it to the mother and the daughters to eat. So there's many stories like these in the hadith, and we could relate to them and share their experience and see how they help those in need, even though they didn't have much of their own. There's this hadith about a husband and a wife, where the Prophet ﷺ, okay, I'm going to just continue. He'll come back on. So there's this hadith of these husband and wife, in which the Prophet ﷺ, he went to visit. They were very poor, and they did not have much. So they did not have much to give to the Prophet ﷺ, and they had very little, and whatever little they had, they cooked for the Prophet. And the Prophet, of course, he brought his own sahabas, and they eat from it. So the ayah was revealed about these two people, the husband and the wife, that they didn't have much, but they still give. This, it was fun because yesterday I'm walking down to the basement and someone in the family had thrown something on the floor and I was so exhausted. I'm like, I can't pick this up. I'm just so tired. I have so much to do. Then this ayah came to my mind that this is a time when you can't do it. You give either your time, your energy, your skills, or financially, you just give. This is a time where the greatest reward you get is when you don't have it and you still give. So no one has an excuse that, oh, well, I don't have much. I can't even feed myself. Like we said, $5 make a difference. $5 in Afghanistan is a lot of money. For those who don't know, $10 is a lot of money in Afghanistan. So it could make a huge difference.
Definitely, with a $10, a family of 8 members can eat. And I know that we spend maybe more than a $10 just on coffee on a daily basis. I'm guilty myself. I started for myself, but something we can do a little. We can help and we can share. Inspire other to help those who are in need. A lot of families that right now in Afghanistan and many of the poor country, uh, they're not thinking what they're going to be eating tonight. They're only thinking if they will be able to eat. Will they going to have anything to eat? Our kids, I mean, what we have here, we should be just thankful. We should not be uh, so severe on ourselves that we have why we have it. What we got, it's a blessing. We should be thankful for it. In the same time, help others who are poor. So that's our main issue right now is most of the charities, particularly some of the charities, we have issue with them that they can't get the funds to the right people because some of the places like Afghanistan, for security reason, a lot of people cannot go. So locally, like privately, a lot of people can access and can reach out to many families who cannot be reached by.
So we're going to be almost wrapping it up soon. So those who are watching, please do share this campaign. What I'm going to do is since the video is kind of like very off and on and a lot of issues, I'm going to this video, make it more professional looking, and I would love your help if you could share it. Once we go on to, it will go on to his page, the Afghan Aid Agency, which we could share and donate. The Ramadan campaign, we have put it on the comment bar below, the GoFundMe page. He said that if you don't have a credit card or bank account or anything, there's another way to do it. You said PayPal, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, PayPal. That's can we only just on the GoFundMe page, just send me a message that I can pay via GoFundMe. So we will send you the link for the PayPal. So a lot of some of the people from from Europe and Australia, that's what they did. They used PayPal. I'm not sure why they can use GoFundMe, but I believe PayPal is what they use on a daily basis, and it's more easier and secure. So that's not a problem. I just wanted to just give you a brief, what exactly we done so far. Although we started our program for a month, collecting donation from brothers and sisters, we already donated 40% of our funds. In that 40%, we served close to 55 families. Those 55 families are very poor. The condition of their families are hard to watch. And some of the families, one of the family, she had 4 widows in her house, and she only had one man working in the house, and those widows has their children. So around like 11 or 12 member in the house and one person is working, and that person doesn't have a stable job. He go out and try to look for a job. So if he find a job, he can come back home with some food. Sometimes he come back empty handed. So that family, you can probably see in our video on the Facebook page, it's crying so hard that they're so happy to receive at least some food that they can at least put their kids to bed full stomach, because a lot of these kids, they go to bed empty stomach, so it's really hard. A lot of our kids over here, they have choices what they want to eat. We ask them, what do you want to eat? He gets up and we ask them, what do you want to eat for breakfast? Over there, they can barely have one time food. It could be in the afternoon, it could be in the night. So some of the families can't even have two times meal. So they have one time meal, and some of the families, they wait for neighbors and friends to bring them leftover. So that's their condition.
The only way we could ever understand their pain is trying to have empathy. And empathy means putting ourselves in their shoes. Just imagine that you are stuck somewhere. You have nowhere to run. You're stuck in a place, there's no help around you. That's the situation of the poor individuals in Afghanistan. They have nowhere to run to. Their government is very weak. They don't have the infrastructure. They don't have much support. Everywhere they go, they hear the no, there's nothing. There's no food. Or if there is food, it's very high prices. There's no jobs. And what will people do? People eventually will turn to crimes and commit crimes. And we're trying to build this security in Afghanistan. So this is one of the best ways to build security, is provide jobs for these people, provide food, provide a way out of this poverty. Until Afghanistan doesn't come out of this poverty, these people, they don't have education because so much wars have been going on. And now if they do have an education, where are they going to get the job? Like I said, so much have been going on. The only way for us to comprehend what they've been through is putting ourselves in their shoes and feeling empathy towards them. And again, this is not about religion. This is not about nationality. This is about humanity. This is about the golden rule.
Yes.
Treating people with respect and dignity by making sure, if we have food in our stomach, we should have it for others too. For those who are Muslims, we are familiar with the ayah of the Quran. Excuse me, I'm paraphrasing it, so it's in my words. I might not say exactly how it's written. So Allah says to his servant that I was hungry and you did not come to me. And the servant asked him, how can you be hungry, Allah? And how can I come to you? And Allah tells him that, the poor people were hungry and you never went to them. You never gave them food. You never gave them support. So now is the best time to give, especially for us Muslim believers in the time of Ramadan. Even if Ramadan didn't start right now, giving right now, the food will be there. You will get the same reward hopefully by Allah as in the day of Ramadan. You're giving it on the day of Ramadan. So any last remarks you have, Brother Ahmad, before we close?
My last remark is basically I would like to have everyone who are watching or who will be watching this program, please make a small donations. Just be part of it. Doesn't have to be big. If you can make it, or if you have already commitment somewhere else, if you can just make a very small donation, that's great. If you can share it with your friends and families, that's also great. Even if you just pray for us, pray for the people who are suffering, pray for the volunteers. I want to stress this one more time, that although yes, I did founded this organization, but I have a lot of support. I have a lot of great, really dedicated people working with me. They don't even want their name to be mentioned. That's something that's the reason I'm sticking with this program. And we're now working with the numbers. Whether yes, did we did win over our goal. We actually overpassed our goal 2 times this in 1 month, because what we do, what we say, we do it, and we make sure we take your donations and give it to the most deserving families. Once you will see who are receiving those donations, you will regret it that I wish I should have donated more, because those families are really poor. Not only the poverty is hurtful and hard to watch, it's their hope. They don't have any hope. That's making it so hard. They don't have any hope for their children, like whether what's going to happen to them. They can be killed, they can be like taken away. Kids are just have no future over there. Even in the same time, like 95% of the population is poor. There are people. So I just want to wrap this up and trying to make sure everybody understand what we do. Our program is for poor families in Afghanistan. So far, we have donated some part of our donation that we received, and we are continuing receiving more donations. So sister will share the link with you. I want you to please make a small donation. In the same time, please share it with your friends and family, and make a dua for us.
Amen. May Allah bless you for your efforts and all that you're doing. Uh, the least we could do is make dua for the people of Afghanistan and those who work nonstop,
Amen.
years, those who've run these organizations to help the innocent people of Afghanistan, or wherever they may be, whatever part of the world, the poor and the suffering, those who are oppressed, that we make prayers for them. We share our skills with these organizations. We give to those in need. This comes from a heart that's connected to humanity, a heart that cares for humanity and wants the best for each other. It's not about me, it's not about you, it's about a human, a soul, a person everyone has a dream. And these, like brother Hamid said, that these children, they don't have no hope, they have no dreams, they have no goals in life, because all they see is poverty around them. And only you and me, those who have a better life, those who have security, we live in peace, we could make that difference. And this is a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those who are poor is a test for them, and those who are well off, this is a test from us. What are we going to do? Allah is going to ask us, when you had food on the table, did you share with those in need? Did you ever think to help an orphan? Did you ever think of helping a widow? So this will come back to us on the day of judgment.